What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into this topic. My topic is Asia Wilson, right? And some of the characteristics that I see um, within Asia Wilson. You know, a lot of the characteristics that, in my opinion, that Asia Wilson possess is like the same characteristics you see in Tom Brady and Michael Jordan, right? And by that I mean with Asia Wilson, you know, with Tom Brady and Michael Jordan, like those guys always when they play always had they high intensity type people. Um and like almost anything you said or anything you did, you know what I mean, would just like motivate them to really want to like destroy you on the court or on the field, right? They use anything. They can use any little infraction as like bulletin board material just to get them motivated and just really want to like destroy you on the court or in the field. And so when I see Asia Wilson and I hear some of the things that Asia Wilson says, you know, in interviews, I think that you know, she had those same type of characteristics, right? And and that's probably, you know, and that's part of the reason why she is the type of athlete that she is. You know, like she is definitely, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, she is, you know, the best player in the WNBA. And part of that is because of her you know, her mental makeup, her intensity, and the fact that she takes everything personally, right? um you know, I love her approach to the game. I love her work ethic, you know. But that's you know, that's the reason why she is the player that she is. And so because she takes everything personally and she takes, you know, she everything to her as bulletin board material. um people can people see her as someone who is you know, maybe they see her as someone who is the kind of person who's never happy or never satisfied. And like I said, you see those same type of characteristics in Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. um for instance, with Asia Wilson, like I don't think, and it was pretty much obvious that she didn't really enjoy or appreciate the fact that people was giving Caitlin Clark so much, showing Caitlin Clark so much love and appreciation, you know. So that I think is part of what motivated her to go out and have another MVP type season, you know, just to show people that, you know, that she was still the one. And she even said it in an interview. She was like, you know, quote, I you know, I'm that bitch, you know. And she is just motivated by that. She was motivated probably by the fact that Caitlin Clark had a tennis shoe deal. She was motivated by the fact that Caitlin Clark had you know, like all these endorsements. And so that's just the kind of player she is, and that's what makes her great. And so now I want to speak on like this recently. People have made brought up the topic that she said that what's the young lady at UConn, Paige Becker. I think it's Paige Becker, has a has white privilege, right? And so with that, I think that number one, you know, I think that Paige Becker, you know, I don't in my opinion, she don't have like white privilege. But I think that you know, someone needs to, and this, you know, if that's the way Asia feel, that's, you know, that's on Asia. But someone needs to really to let Asia Wilson know that like she can feel that way. And because she is like, she is one of the best like basketball players, you know, well, she is the best basketball player in the WNBA, and she can feel like that. But I think that, you know, and the way she works things, like that works for her. But someone who don't know any better and would take what Asia Wilson says as and believe that, that could really affect them in a negative way. Like a young person who looks up to Asia Wilson could think that, that like all white people, have white privilege, which is not true. But if a young person don't know any better and they believe that, then that can give that young person like an inferiority complex, or it can make them feel like they don't even want to try and compete. Whereas though for Asia Wilson, she uses that as motivation, but for a young person who don't understand, and a person who has probably not even been outside of their own personal environment, you know, um, that's that can be detrimental to a young person's development, and I think that Asia Wilson, young people have to understand that number one, black people we don't have like a monopoly on poverty and being poor, meaning that we're not the only people who live in poverty. We're not the only people who come from poor backgrounds. White people do too, and not just white people, but you have people who come from all over this world who play professional basketball. For instance, you got guys in the NBA who come from countries where, their countries are at war. And the people are bombing, and other countries are bombing their country, and bombing their homes. That's something like in the United States that we never experienced that here. And so you have like I said, guys who come to the NBA, like Luka Doncic and what's the other guy, Joker. They come from some rough areas around the world, and things that they experience, things that, like I said, we're not used to here. But I'm sure that those guys don't see themselves just because just because they're white. They don't see themselves as being privileged. I think they see themselves as being fortunate to be able to play professional basketball in the United States. So on top of that, Asia Wilson, some of the people that she complained about, like having privilege, she comes from like she comes from a background that's just as good, if not better, than some of the people that she think that that has white privilege. Like Asia Wilson comes from a 2-parent household, middle class, and not every white person comes from that type of background, 2 parents and middle class, So, I think that like I said, that stuff works for her, but she has to be careful not to really to what she says publicly, because people who don't know any better will buy into that, and that could really affect them in a personal, in an adverse way. Could give them like a victim type mentality. And yeah, so that's my take on it. Like I say, I'm not trying to knock Asia. I just see that she uses everything for motivation, and I really admire that about her, because a person, just like I admired Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, because they have a different type of intensity that as a fan, everybody don't really get to really, play at that level, or see other players reach the levels that these guys reach. And that's because they have a whole different mentality, a whole different outlook. And she's that kind of person. She has a whole different mentality and a whole different outlook, which makes it, as from a fan standpoint, like watching somebody like that, is it just makes it more entertaining. It makes it more is fun to watch, because you seeing somebody who has a purpose, a person who's really like digging down and showing that like they are on a mission, whether that mission is whether that mission is real or is manufactured in her mind. Like I said, the results are still the same. The results for her is that she's the league MVP. The results are that she is the best basketball player in the WNBA. But I think that her notion that all white people are privileged. I think that she got to be careful with those types of statements. But other than that, man, I really dig watching her play. And I agree that she definitely should have been the MVP, which she is. And I also think she the best WNBA basketball player in the league. And right now, our team is down to the New York Liberty 2-0. When at the time that I'm making this, hopefully they don't get swept. They already 2-time champions, but as long as Asia Wilson is playing, it's a chance for the Aces to come back. But that's my opinion. That's that's the way I see Asia Wilson. You know what I mean? I really dig her game, like I said. But let me know what you think about Asia Wilson, what you think about her opinions, and let me know, do you think that she had those same type of characteristics that Mike Jordan and Tom Brady have? Now, I'm not saying that they would have said the same thing about white people having privilege and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that these type of athletes, elite athletes, can take any little thing that they see as a slight or any little provocation, and they can just let that motivate them and just take their game to a whole nother level. That's what I mean when I say that Asia Wilson has those same type of characteristics. They probably wouldn't agree with Asia Wilson on the privilege thing, but I'm just saying that they can just be motivated by the slightest thing that other people would it wouldn't just affect them the same way. So with that being said, man, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment. I'm eager to see what your opinions are on Asia Wilson and her comments and the way she's playing and performing in the league. And yeah, don't forget. And I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.